Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Norman Fairclough in Discourse Analysis. Norman Fairclough is a central figure in the field of discourse analysis, particularly known for developing critical discourse analysis, CDA. His work explores the ways in which language and discourse contribute to the construction and maintenance of social power relations, ideologies, and identities. Fairclough's approach integrates linguistic analysis with social theory, making it a powerful tool for examining how discourse both reflects and shapes social structures. 1. Key concepts in Fairclough's discourse analysis. Three-dimensional framework. Fairclough's critical discourse analysis is structured around a three-dimensional framework that examines discourse on three levels. Text, micro-level. This involves the detailed analysis of language use in specific texts, focusing on linguistic features such as vocabulary, grammar, and cohesion. Discursive practice, meso-level. This dimension explores how texts are produced, distributed, and consumed within specific social contexts. It considers how texts are interpreted and how they relate to other texts. Social practice, macro-level. This level examines the broader social and cultural structures that shape and are shaped by discourse. It looks at how discourse contributes to the maintenance of social power relations, ideologies, and institutional practices. Application. To analyze a political speech, Fairclough's approach would involve analyzing the language used in the speech, text, understanding how the speech fits within broader political discourse, discursive practice, examining how the speech reflects and reinforces societal power dynamics and ideologies, social practice, intertextuality. Intertextuality refers to the way in which texts refer to or incorporate elements from other texts. Fairclough emphasizes that no text exists in isolation. Instead, texts draw on, respond to, and influence other discourses. Application. A news article on climate change might reference scientific reports, previous news stories, or political speeches. Analyzing these references helps to understand how the article positions itself within the larger discourse on climate change. Ideology and hegemony. Fairclough draws heavily on the concepts of ideology and hegemony to explain how discourse functions in society. Ideology refers to the systems of belief that are embedded in discourse and that serve to justify and perpetuate power relations. Hegemony. Borrowed from Antonio Gramsci, hegemony refers to the process by which dominant groups in society maintain their power by securing the consent of subordinate groups, often through ideological means embedded in discourse. Application. In corporate discourse, promoting the idea of a meritocracy may serve to justify and maintain existing power structures within a company by framing success as solely the result of individual effort, thus obscuring systemic inequalities. Discourse and social change. Fairclough is particularly interested in how discourse can both reflect and drive social change. He examines how shifts in language use can indicate broader transformations in social practices and power relations. Application. The increasing use of gender-neutral language in public documents can be seen as both a reflection of and a catalyst for changing attitudes towards gender identity and equality. 2. Methodological approach. Fairclough's CDA involves a multi-step methodological process. Textual analysis. This step involves a close reading of the text, analyzing its linguistic features, such as word choice, sentence structure, and rhetorical devices. Discursive practice analysis. This step examines how the text is produced, distributed, and consumed. It considers how the text relates to other texts and discourses, exploring its intertextual links and the social practices it engages with. Social practice analysis. This final step situates the text within the broader social and cultural context. It looks at how the text contributes to the maintenance or challenge of existing power relations and ideologies. Example: analyzing a government policy document might involve textual analysis, identifying the use of formal language, specific terminologies, and how arguments are structured. Discursive practice analysis, examining how the document was produced, e.g., through a consultative process, how it has been disseminated, e.g., through official channels, and how it interacts with other policy documents. Social practice analysis, exploring how the policy document reflects and reinforces governmental power structures, how it impacts social inequalities, and how it aligns with or challenges existing ideologies. Point 3. Contributions and impact. Fairclough's work has had a significant impact on the field of discourse analysis, particularly in the following areas: integration of linguistics and social theory. Fairclough's approach brings together detailed linguistic analysis with broader social theory, providing a comprehensive framework for understanding how discourse operates within society. Focus on power and ideology. By emphasizing the role of discourse in the construction and maintenance of power relations, Fairclough's work helps to uncover the often subtle ways in which language perpetuates social inequalities and ideologies. Practical applications. Fairclough's CDA has been widely applied across various fields, including media studies, education, politics, and organizational communication, making it a versatile and influential tool for critical analysis. Point 4. Criticisms and challenges. While Fairclough's approach to discourse analysis is widely respected, it has also faced some criticisms. Complexity and accessibility. The multi-layered approach of CDA can be complex and demanding, making it less accessible for those without a background in both linguistics and social theory. Subjectivity. Some critics argue that CDA can be influenced by the analyst's own biases, leading to subjective interpretations. The emphasis on uncovering power dynamics can sometimes lead to predetermined conclusions. Overemphasis on power. While CDA's focus on power is one of its strengths, some scholars argue that this focus can overshadow other important aspects of discourse, such as collaboration, creativity, and resistance. Conclusion. Norman Fairclough's contributions to discourse analysis, particularly through the development of critical discourse analysis, have profoundly influenced how scholars understand the relationship between language and society. His three-dimensional framework, which integrates textual, discursive, and social analysis, provides a robust tool for examining how discourse both reflects and shapes social structures, ideologies, and power relations. Despite some criticisms, Fairclough's approach remains a cornerstone of critical discourse analysis, offering valuable insights for analyzing the complex ways in which language functions within social and political contexts. Frequently asked questions. Who is Norman Fairclough, and what is his significance in discourse analysis? Norman Fairclough is a pivotal figure in discourse analysis, best known for developing critical discourse analysis, CDA. His work integrates linguistic analysis with social theory to explore how language and discourse contribute to the construction and maintenance of social power relations, ideologies, and identities. What is the core structure of Fairclough's critical discourse analysis? Fairclough's CDA is built around a three-dimensional framework that examines discourse on three levels. Text, micro-level, analyzes language use in specific texts, focusing on vocabulary, grammar, and cohesion. Discursive practice, meso-level, examines how texts are produced, distributed, and consumed within social contexts. Social practice, macro-level, investigates how discourse contributes to broader social and cultural structures, particularly power relations and ideologies. How does Fairclough's three-dimensional framework apply to discourse analysis? To analyze a discourse like a political speech using Fairclough's framework. Text. Analyze the specific language used in the speech. Discursive practice. Consider how the speech fits into broader political discourse and its production and reception. Social practice. Examine how the speech reflects and reinforces societal power dynamics and ideologies. What is intertextuality, and why is it important in Fairclough's CDA? Intertextuality refers to how texts refer to or incorporate elements from other texts. In Fairclough's CDA, it's crucial because it highlights that no text exists in isolation. Every text draws from and influences other discourses. This understanding helps to contextualize how texts position themselves within broader discursive fields. How do ideology and hegemony function in Fairclough's analysis? Fairclough uses the concepts of ideology and hegemony to explain how discourse perpetuates social power. Ideology: systems of belief embedded in discourse that justify and maintain power relations. Hegemony: the process by which dominant groups maintain power, often by embedding ideologies in discourse to secure consent from subordinate groups. Can Fairclough's CDA be used to study social change? How? Yes, Fairclough's CDA is particularly interested in how discourse can reflect and drive social change. By analyzing shifts in language use, CDA can reveal broader transformations in social practices and power relations. For example, the growing use of gender-neutral language can be studied as both a reflection of and a catalyst for changing attitudes towards gender identity and equality. What are the key steps in Fairclough's methodological approach to CDA? Fairclough's CDA involves 3 key steps: textual analysis, close reading of the text, focusing on linguistic features; discursive practice analysis, examination of the text's production, distribution, and consumption, including its intertextual links; social practice analysis, situating the text within its broader social and cultural context to explore its role in maintaining or challenging power relations. What contributions has Fairclough's work made to the field of discourse analysis? Fairclough's work has significantly impacted discourse analysis by integrating detailed linguistic analysis with social theory, emphasizing the role of discourse in constructing and maintaining power relations, providing practical tools for critical analysis across various fields, including media, politics, and education. What are some criticisms of Fairclough's CDA approach? Critics of Fairclough's CDA point out complexity and accessibility. The approach's multi-layered nature can be challenging for those without a background in linguistics and social theory. Subjectivity. The emphasis on power dynamics might lead to subjective interpretations influenced by the analyst's biases. Overemphasis on power. Some argue that the focus on power can overshadow other aspects of discourse, such as creativity and resistance. How does Fairclough's CDA remain relevant despite criticisms? Despite criticisms, Fairclough's CDA remains relevant because it offers a comprehensive framework for understanding how language functions within social and political contexts. By linking linguistic analysis to broader social structures, Fairclough's approach continues to provide valuable insights into the ways discourse reflects and shapes power relations and ideologies.